Hello, today I'm with my dad, and today we're going to be playing a doubles round at Busch Creek, Washington, Missouri. It's par 58, 4,268 feet. Pretty nice day, just a little bit of wind and partly cloudy. Thank you to my sponsor.
Hey guys, this is John Linebacker, Carter's dad here. So as we're sort of poking through Discin's website, he has a website and a Facebook page too, but this is a filming of one of the leagues that Discin sponsors out in Washington, Missouri at Busch Creek Golf Course. Really big out in Franklin County. So this is week 6 of the Fall League. And as our players introduce ourselves, we'll talk a little bit more about his league. But we're at Busch Creek, so this is happening every Saturday. We'll let the players introduce themselves here, and we'll get back to the talking about the league.
Carter Langenbacher, I've been playing for 2 years.
Jeff Love, been playing for 5 years in Franklin County.
Mike Harding, Washington, Missouri, been playing for a year.
Tyler Ferdinand, been playing for a year and a half. I'm Tim Gray, I've been playing for 5 years.
John Langenbacher, been playing for 2 years.
Alright, now, hole 1, par 3, 276 feet. It's pretty wide open, with a hill on the right side leading down to the road. But the only OB marked on the course for this league and on the tee-pad signs are the little garden things around the basket. We call that the greens.
Call them the beans.
Oh, beans, yeah.
The beans are local because they look like a kidney bean. So that was Mr. Tim Gray, I think, coined that term. I'm sorry if I'm wrong there, but so going back to the league here, this is random draw doubles, and we had about, I think, 20 people, right, Carter?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, so there's quite a few people that show up for this. There's been more at a lot of these leagues. There's about 20, and basically it's just random draw. So you get paired with a player. I think the leagues are $10 a person, where all of the money that is put in this goes back to the league. And I think Zanfell and OTB are sponsors as well, so there's a bunch of CTPs. There's a bunch of prizes that they give out at the end. So if you don't place well or during the day, you also get chances to win other things. And this is the Fall League. They just got done with the Summer League. They do a Spring League. And as of this, the day of this commentary that me and Carter are recording for you, this is Tim. This is the man in the area with Discin. If you want something disc golf related, he knows what's going on. But today is December 1st, 2021. They're actually starting a winter putting league at the Elks Lodge in Washington. So Discin does a lot for the disc golf community in the local area. Said he has a pretty good shop that he stays up on. So make sure you check him out.
Back to the round. That was a great putt by Tim. Little tester. Here's a putt from Tyler, just a little short. And I'm going to try to make that putt. A little high left, not what you want while playing doubles.
Yeah, so we had one birdie on the first hole, 2 pars, little woes in the putting. This is hole number 256 feet. Going back down towards the road here. This is a very beginner-friendly course. So 156 feet is pretty good. It's a little pitch up here. The dangers here is just going long of the pin. Go long of the pin, a lot of the discs like to roll all the way down towards the road there. And also short of the pin gives you that look putting down that hill there. So we see Tim here pulling over on one again. He's done that the first 2 holes. He's trying to figure out his swings here, and he usually doesn't warm up because he's taking care of organizing the league and making sure everybody's signed in. So he just pretty much steps up and starts playing. So we're seeing a lot of hyzer shots here. That was my shot, just throwing a little putter up there, trying to let it fly out to the basket.
I'm just trying to hit short, trying to just check up right before the hill. Tyler trying to go a little bit of a hyzer shot like everybody else, but throws it pretty straight, and it's still a putt.
And this is me and Mike got partnered up. I actually used to work with Mike. Shout out to Mike if you're watching this. But yeah, we missed our putts on the first 2 holes, probably about circle's edge. And then you've got Tim and Jeff got paired up. And from what I remember talking to everybody, is we play with a lot of these guys, and remind me if I'm wrong here, Carter, but I think that Jeff, Tim, myself, and you are the only ones that have PDGA numbers and ratings per se. I don't think Tyler and Mike do as of yet, so.
Yeah. This is hole 3, par 3, 232 feet. This one also pretty wide open, just like hole 1, except it's just straight flat ground. Pretty cool looking elevated basket on those rocks. You just want to get it close so you don't have a long putt. Jeff putting a good move on that wasp.
Well, I thought that was going in. That was a good shot.
Tim still got that turn on the disc, but it comes back nicely. That's pretty close too.
Yeah, and they've got the first 2 there, so they're taking the tee box here. This is Jeff throwing a little flick up there. And you guys can see the grass on this while Carter's throwing his shot. What disc is that you're throwing there?
A felon. I tried to throw that way farther right.
Yeah.
Just the wind got a hold of it. I threw it too far towards the basket.
Yeah, and if you ever get out to this course, this wind always, I don't know if it's the volley, but it always blows from this tee box right to left. It's always coming off of the road over there. I'm just throwing a little rock up there. Thought it was going to be a little more stable than that, but ended up being all right. But there's some tall grass you can see now that it's fall and getting closer to winter. That grass is pretty short, and they do come out and maintain this course very well. Washington takes care of this course. They remulch all the back, so you'll see when we get to the back, it's more in the woods there. A nice putt as Jeff is running up. Little celebration there. And Mike tapping out our birdie here, so a couple birdies and a par. But yeah, this grass can get a little tall during the summers. So something to beware at, but there is definitely fairway and out of bounds marked, rough marked here. This is hole number 4, par 3, 230. Once again, there is a big slope on the other side of this pin. You can see the other pin location there. We're still throwing back to the road. Typically, this is being thrown straight into a headwind. It's just that wind rips off of those buildings over there and seems to come right through there. And Jeff puts a nice little pull on it here. So once again, it's pretty wide open. You can pretty much pick any shot you want to throw here. So this is Tim and Jeff. They got the first 3. Looks like they're going to get this one too. A couple good nice shots there.
I want to throw my P2. A little deep for my hand, so it just comes out really fluttering. Tyler, pretty good shot. The wind just drops it down at the end.
Yeah, once again, Mike gets his. It's, like I said, headwind, so it likes to balloon them out a little nose up and get carried away here. I think I'm throwing a thumber here. Super overstable disc. Really good shot. Actually hits and rolls up on the concrete for the basket. And then there's a little picture to show you guys if you've never been to this course. There's a huge hill there, so you hit right by that, and it rolls all the way down to the bottom of that hill. And that's probably a good 50-foot drop down there. So a lot of these baskets are pretty short, but they do have some of the baskets on locations where it's going to roll. Like if you miss this putt like this, so Carter can see that's flipping up and rolling down.
Good thing we're playing doubles golf.
Mm-hmm. You can see the pin location down there on the hill. You cannot see that from the tee when the pin is down there. So Tyler's a nice run. I thought that was going to roll away for a minute. Stayed up. So nice tap in par there for him. Jeff, little no look. Birdie. He thought he missed that. First time on Carter's channel.
All right, hole 5, par 3, 215 feet. This one's also pretty short. It's better for the lefty or the righty flick because it goes left to right. It's a little bit blind. You just want to get through the trees and just hyzer out in time. Also, there's a creek behind it. Not playing OB. Only OBs on hole 1.
And that's pretty much an election from the group that puts together this league. And I didn't play in a tournament that they had, but Carter, what do you win? The Elks initial. So Elks and Moose Lodge, I think, put this.
First annual Busch Creek Open.
Yeah, first annual Busch Creek Open. So Carter played the advanced division and won that. And actually that video is on his channel if you guys want to watch that. But I think it's the Elks and the Moose Lodge that donated the money for this.
Elks and Lions.
Elks and Lions, okay. But yeah, they put on a tournament, and during that tournament, the OB rules were a lot different. They incorporated a lot more OB, but when you're playing in these leagues, really the only OB is on hole 1. And even if you throw it in the water, you're pulling out of the water and taking your shot from there.
Yes.
So it's very good if you're beginning and you're not really sure about competing. This is a great league to go to. Look up Jespen Discin leagues in Washington. They're on his website. You can look up all the leagues, all the tournaments that they do. That was a nice putt there, tapping off birdie. And me and Mike do the same thing. All right, so hole 6, moving on, another short one. We're in the A location today. Okay, A location is 172 feet. It's just a tunnel shot straight up, and you add a little backstop here. It's probably, 10 to 15 feet elevated, I think, from the tee box.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, not bad. So
I'm just gonna go a little forehand envy.
it's a nice looking shot. And then really where you don't want to be is right. Obviously, you can hit that tree right there that Tyler just missed. If you're right of that tree, it's pretty deep and thick in there. And then the B location is actually up left on top of the hill behind those trees, which is a pretty fun location to throw at too. So
Jeff giving it a little ace run.
some nice looking shots coming out here. And then Mike hits that tree. Luckily, he gets kicked left here. If you go right off of that, you're going to end up in the deep woods or in a tree here. Actually split those 2 trees up top. I think that was a tactic I was throwing there a little deep. So we're trying to make some putts, me and Mike, but we've missed. This will be 3 if we can this one on the edge of the circle. And yeah, unfortunately, we popped out there. That's 3 missed putts for us so far. You banged that, hit that center pole when it come out.
Yeah, finally making some putts after hole 1. Tim and... Never mind. Okay, hole 7, par 3, 156 feet. This one's way downhill. The pin's a little tucked in the woods right there. There is a creek deep that you don't want to go into because it's very steep. But yeah, you just want to check up short, just like that. That gets a little long though.
You notice Tim threw a lefty backhand there. He can throw a lefty or a righty backhand. He's from what it looks, he's working on that little forehand flick too. Carter's a little early, and I know Carter sometimes you like to throw that. You threw it, even though you're left hand.
Yeah, I probably should have gone that gap this time.
Yeah, there's a little gap on the right side. You can see the darker woods there that Carter throws his righty backhand in. And you can actually sneak through and get a nice little putt there. Mike throws a pretty good shot, checks up in there. I'm just floating a little putter down there, and I thought this was going in and just smoked a tree that's right behind the basket. So Tim trying to cash in the first turbo putt on Carter's channel. Still yet has to be done. Jeff smoking one right in the middle there.
Here's Tyler from his drive. Little gap. Ooh, just over.
There it is, nice putt.
I don't know what. I can putt today. I cannot drive.
Yeah, it happens, man. Sometimes you do it. Oh, that's our first star frame.
You guys made a putt this time.
Yeah, it's a 10-footer.
That's nice.
I hope we can make those 10-footers. So this is hole number 8, par 3, 192. Once again, road is not OB. There's a creek right, not OB. There's a deep pin as well. We're playing the short pin today. It's really guarded by this big bush right in front of it. I wouldn't say a tunnel you have to go through. There's a low ceiling where Tim, he thought he was losing his disc. That rolled, and it did not go in the creek, but that creek's pretty close there. Pretty low ceiling. There's branches. Now it's fall. The leaves are gone. So Jeff hits one of those protecting trees, and once you get by that, there's a bush right in front of the pin. So you can access the pin, but yeah, you have to throw a pretty good shot to get this one. Not like that.
That was just a little left.
Trying to flip up that, what is that envy you throw?
Yeah. Mike puts it pretty good.
Yeah, and that's really a pretty good shot. He gets up to the edge over there. I think I'm just throwing a zone, nice easy skip shot up here and end up pretty close. So this is Jeff and Tim here. They've got the lead right now, trying to run it in there, and Jeff's usually a pretty good putter. He puts a pretty good run on that one. But they tapped in for their par.
Yeah, I knew right out of the hand that was not going in. Maybe Tyler could get it. A little short. That's a tap-in par, though.
All right, and there's our. Ooh, I tried to sneak out, man. Finally made one though.
Another birdie for you guys. All right, hole 9, par 3, 328 feet. This is the long position. Again, the road down the hill left is not OB for this league, but it's very dangerous to go down there. And just wide open. Just don't want to go in the woods left or down that hill.
And you can see the flag in the background. The wind is pretty calm at this point in time. Mike flexing one up. I'm throwing, I think that's a Raptor, just trying to let it skip up. Decent shot. Carter's going to show you what not to do. You really don't want to go down this hill over here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was my FD3.
Yeah, and that thing was gone. I think that went over the road and towards another TV. If you go over the road in the air or over the side of the edge there, it drops probably 50 feet, so you're going to be out there. What's that disc he's showing us?
Prototype Malta.
Yeah.
Puts a pretty good move on it.
Jeff still had his arm in the end there. He's sticking it in the air. He's trying to work on that, trying to get that arm down. Here's Tim playing some woods golf.
Almost as bad as me. Because I got all the way down the hill.
Yeah, and this is a tricky approach shot. Carter, you do that real nice there. If you go 5 feet past that pin, I mean, you're down that hill. So it's a pretty tricky one. Like I said, a lot of these holes on the front are open. You'll see it changes in the back. But Tim's trying to really elevate a putt there. You can see how close that hill is. And he rolled I think he rolled down to the bottom of that hill.
Yeah, Tim and Jeff trying to capitalize off that Malta shot. And he can't.
Yeah,
I
mean,
tough comebacker.
that was like a foot above the basket, and they went way down. There's thick grass down there, stopped it, but that's still, that basket is what, 15 feet above their heads right there?
Probably, yeah.
That's a pretty tough one. So unfortunately, they're going to take a bogey.
First bogey of the round.
This is me and Mike here. This is my drive trying to tap it in, and we finally starting to make some putts. So that's good. All right, so after 9, we're pretty close in score. This is hole 10, par 3. Once again, this is a little chipper. This is probably the most commonly aced hole on this course. Once again, road is not OB for this league, and this is really straight downhill. It's hard not to go long here. You just want to lay something up and let it rest by the basket, and Mike does that pretty well here. And I'm throwing the same putter I've been throwing, just nice and easy. Just let it hyzer out, and this thing skips right up and actually is on the concrete for a nice, easy tap in.
Yeah, partner golf. I was trying to run it. Little nose up and just carries to the right.
It's like 100 feet too long.
Yep. And then Tyler just puts it real close, as you can see there.
I don't know. Did you go first or did Tyler go first?
I believe I went first.
All right. I don't remember the order of the recording here. And Tim throws a real nice shot. A little bit short, but that looked pretty good. He's going lefty again on that one.
Doing a little jump putt throw.
Yeah. And, I mean, Jeff parks it, yeah. So I think this looks to be another star frame here, all birdieing this. Okay,
Yeah.
So we have, 2 groups at 6 down, 1 group at 5 down, so it's a pretty close fight so far.
Yeah. While Tyler's putting that out, I'm going to find that FD3 I threw in hole 9.
So another star frame. Now we're heading into the woods, so.
All right, hole 11, par 3, 153 feet. This one is a new pin position that they placed during the tournament I just won. It is pretty guarded and a little downhill. You just want to crash the back of the basket. I don't throw an Anheuser, hit a tree. And then Tyler does the same. So we'll have a par look. Jeff does what you want to do. You just want to crash right behind the basket, and you'll have like about a 15-footer at most.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the video. It looks like the gap's pretty wide there, but it is probably, 10 feet on either side? And there's a creek straight in front of the tee pad, so if you hit early, you're going to drop down into a creek. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, usually many people get through the gap. It's just unlucky today. You pretty much expect to get a birdie on this hole from the short pin, but yeah.
Yeah, and there's a long pin left there where Tim's standing up that hill. There's another pin location too, so it's up on the hill there. That one's a pretty fun one too. So only birdie on the card is Jeff and Tim. They're just holding on to their lead and pushing it a little bit further here as everybody taps in their pars. All right, hole 12. Okay, so this is our first par 4 for for the whole course here. 264 feet in the short location. I think it's, I don't know what the sign said, 300 something from the long location. And the reason it's a par 4 is because there's about 1,000 trees on your way to this pin.
Yeah.
It's tucked up to the left. You can access it in one shot, but I mean, if you're looking down the fairway, you're playing Plinko, like Tim just did there. But yeah, you can still, there still is a gap. Like Jeff's trying to go through the gap right there. If you turn that over a little bit more, that might have been really nice. But you can get a 2 on this in this location. Doesn't happen very often, but we've seen a couple.
Yeah, I put a good move on this, just a little bit too left. So I'll be right next to that bush with Jeff.
So Mike, I hope you're watching this. I showed his toes there, little twinkle toe every time he runs up there. I'm trying to turn over a buzz there. I thought I had it perfect, but went through that little gap. And this is just a little forehand roller that just flicked over it, just grabbed it and went straight left. Mike just early release there. So this is a par 4. So, and it's a short par 4. So once you get up to these trees here, it's really just a pitch around. But there's so many trees and a lot of stuff in the way. This is a lot harder too. Whenever the leaves are on the trees.
Yeah, Tyler puts it pretty close. So did Jeff and Tim. And here I see a gap. I'm trying to go for it. Hits the last branch. Right. It looked like it was about to go in. Hits the last branch and then, as you can see, rolls down the hill.
Yeah, and this is, you can't really tell from the video, but there's a pretty good slope on this hill. And it's a nice cash in for Tim and Jeff there.
Yeah, right before that, Mike made an awesome putt, probably 40, 45 feet straight up the hill. And I didn't press the record button.
It's my partner making a putt. So I think, was that another star frame? That's a hard hole. All right, good.
Hole 13, par 3, 130 feet. This one's just pretty straight up. You just want to get through the trees right off the tee, and then try to hit the hill right by the basket.
And you can't really tell the depth on this, but there's that first tree in the middle, and then there's a row of trees in the first tree from the tee box, which I think Tim's going to show us how to hit that. Nice, Tim. And that tree has 1,000. I've hit that tree many times too. And then you have another little row of trees that Jeff decides to hit, and then there's another one up by the basket there. So
yeah, I've never hit the tree right off the tee pad, but I have hit the tree that Jeff just hit many times.
yeah. So I thought I threw that better. A little turnover, Aviar X3. Typically hyzers out there, but Jeff almost cashes a nice long putt there.
I believe that was Tim.
Oh, that was Tim. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tim.
Jeff just hit the tree.
Jeff just hit the tree. I'm just looking at the team names there. Mike cashes in a birdie for us, and Tyler finishes it off for Carter and them, and Jeff finishes up for par. So scores crunching in a little bit closer here. This is hole 14. This is probably, these next two are probably the hardest on the course. This is just a weird one. Par 3, 195 feet, but it is straight 90-degree turn up the hill, and there is no direct path to this basket. As you can see there, the trees, there's a little gap to the left that Tyler threw a nice shot on. I think that little cut rolled on him. And I think Carter tries to go through it.
Yeah, I'm trying to go a little flip up to carry it up the hill. Hits
Yeah.
the last tree. Did not see it. And then, yeah, this is the normal play. Throwing a righty forehand roller.
Yeah. So those are really your two options. You can go left or you can go right. Typically, most people that are right-handed are throwing that little right-handed forehand roller. You can try a backhand, but that gap is, what, 3 feet up there?
Yeah, or you could try the gap that you could try to throw through the gap that you just try to attempt a roller.
Yeah.
And just lay out for par, but you want to get as close as you can because there's a lot of trees in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah. And this is at the long location too. I don't think I've ever seen a birdie
Yeah, very difficult.
from the long locations here. So, I mean, a par is pretty good. If you're getting a birdie here, you're taking strokes on folks.
Tyler, pretty good run. I'm gonna try to run, but doesn't look like I did. Very, very, very short. And you guys made another nice putt. Yeah, usually you just see a bunch of pars on this hole, a few bogeys. I've never seen a birdie like my dad said.
Yeah, par's pretty good there.
All right, hole 15. It's a par 4, 423 feet. This one goes tunnel shot up the middle, about, would you say 200 feet?
Yeah, about right here. It's a good landing zone, yeah.
And then you want to go through all these trees and get into position to get a 3-4. Yeah, you just want to miss all the trees and just get into position.
There's a lot of elevation changes on this one too, so you're throwing uphill to get to the landing zone. So it's, Carter said about 200 feet, but it still requires a little bit more power than 200 feet to get up there, and Jeff shows you how to do it. And then it's downhill back to the basket. And missed most of the tee shots. Sorry about that. We got 3 of them. The other ones didn't record for some reason. So this is, I think my drive ended up here, so partner Mike's trying to get us up in there. And you can see gaps. There's 2 gaps. I didn't really have much. I was just trying to move us forward, so just threw a little skip shot there.
Yeah, Tyler, we missed his tee shot and mine, but he ended up in a pretty good spot. We just had this tight gap to get to the basket.
If I remember, I think you threw yours too far, didn't you?
Yeah, we did have a gap, but it was very, very tiny, so we just opted for the normal play.
Pretty unique right there, little groundhog chasing after his disc. So yeah, and going back to the landing zone, this is Mike's rolls away, and this is, like I said, there's a lot of elevation change. We're on top of a hill up here, but the landing zone's pretty small for this. So when you got a bigger arm, and going too far can sort of cut you off there.
Yeah, me and Tyler have a pretty tough upshot, but he manages to get around, and I find the tiniest gap. I believe my gap was easier than Tyler's, so maybe a foot wide.
I'll tap you guys in for a par. Par is a great score on this hole, even with doubles.
Yeah, Tim and Jeff got a par. Not what they wanted after that tee shot, but
I think everybody tapped out for a par there, which is pretty good. So, all right, moving on to hole 16. So we got through, in my opinion, the 2 toughest holes in the course. This one is straight downhill. We're going back down. Par 3, 210 feet. There's another basket location to your left, and you can see right behind this basket, once again, is about a 40-foot drop into a creek. So a couple of gaps here. Carter misses them all. So you got some right gaps there. So Tyler shows us the normal gap that a righty backhand will go through, or a lefty flick if you have it. There is a straight gap, and Jeff is going to show us the really wide righty hyzer gap as he hits a tree. There are trees in the way everywhere on this hole. And then Tim goes right at it, and decent shot. He hyzers out and goes way left by the other pin. But there is a little gap left here as well. So, and Mike misses every gap too. I don't think he's happy with that. I think I'm going, yeah, I go straight gap here. There's another one. I think I threw a Luna, not a Lona. Decent shot there. So,
yep.
So they're down by the other pin. There is a pin location down in the corner there too. That's pretty hard to access. And they're trying to chop down trees here. They don't like them.
That's partner golf.
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do.
That was a nice putt. So, I mean, really, if Carter would have missed that putt, that's 40 feet down in that creek. So me and Mike are thinking the same thing. And we actually had the idea. He wanted to lay up and let me run it, and then I just sallied it. I didn't throw it. So
Maybe he should have ran it.
Yeah, probably. He's putting better than me.
That's a good par putt for Tim. All right, now on to hole 17. It's another par 4. 393. This is the long position and ideal landing spot over the second ditch or creek. But to get there, you have to go through a lot of trees. Yeah, you just want to be in position for at least a 4, because if not, you're not feeling pretty good right now. I'm trying to flip on up through the gap, just hits a tree, and same exact disc hits the same tree.
And there is a right gap. I think Tim is going the left gap, which a lot of people choose too. But yeah, you can hyzer out, and there is a creek left here. So, and that hill really slopes down. And Jeff puts a pretty good, nice pull on, and he smokes that tree. Like, this is another Plinko hole, really. There's probably, how many trees on this hole? Who knows? A lot. Mike throwing that turnover again. I'm going left side here, and I really threw a pretty good one here. And I actually got down towards the second tree, or second creek, and then it hit a tree and fell down. So,
yeah, me and Tyler have a tough shot. But we get a good kick to the middle, so that'll be an upshot for a par.
Your shot looked good there, Carter. You just hit a branch there and dropped.
Yeah. Tim and Jeff are trying to get up for a birdie look. I believe that's up on the left side of the green, so I think they'll have a long look.
Tim's shot was looking good there. Just got swatted down at the last minute.
Randy trying to give it a run. Real close.
Tyler.
Dang it.
Tyler or Fred.
Yeah, Frandy.
Yeah. There's Mike coming up here. I just throwing a little turnover Luna to try to let it stop up by the basket. Slid a little bit, but we'll have a putt for a 3. This is Jeff and Tim for a 3 here.
You can tell that Jeff's a very good putter by that.
Jeff is usually one of the better putters in our league. What was that? A little drop down putter?
I guess.
So that's us cashing in for a birdie there. All right, going to the final hole, hole 18. There is a long and short location. This is a pretty fun hole. It's a straight gap shot all the way down. You really can't go over the top. If you miss right or left, you're in jail right, you're in a creek left. And this drops probably, 30 feet down to the basket. There is a pin location up to the right. And this green is pretty slick. You land on it. It likes to slide a little bit, but this is a really, really fun hole to play.
Now, I'm going to rip my MB3. Just the slightest bit of Anheuser and just stables out.
Yeah, you can't see it real well in the video, but that thing's like 10 feet away. That was a great shot.
Yeah, Tyler trying to get close to. It looks pretty good, and then it gets through a lot of the trees though. That was a very good shot too.
Tim's throwing some worm burners up there.
Very happy with that effort.
And Jeff actually throws a nice shot here. His turn's over. Like I said, this is downhill, so it's going to hold that little turn a little bit better. It's a real good shot there. And Mike with his little twinkle toes. Mike ends up hitting a tree and goes left there. And I'm up here. I'm throwing a buzz. I tried to throw a little more hyzer on it. It pretty much flipped up on me, went left, but we got lucky and stayed dry on the left side there.
Yeah, I think the usual play, or the usual accident on this hole is you just fade out a little bit too much at the very end.
Yeah. And that's a tap in for birdie. For Tim and Jeff finishing at 9 down. And this is up. We're trying to lay up so we can have a putt for birdie.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll have a decent putt. Once again, we've missed a lot of these today already. So there's Mike missing another one. And he's putted pretty well today. So, and there's me floating one and getting lucky. So that'll put us at 10 down. And then Carter tapping off his lone eagle there.
I should have skewer putted that. Oh, no, turbo putted.
Turbo. Yeah, we still don't have a turbo made on the channel. But anyways, Carter, Tyler 10 down. Me and Mike 10 down. And then Jeff and Tim at 9 down. But that wasn't the winner of the tournament. You can see a lot of birdies there. Jeff and Tim had that one lone bogey. This is fairly typical for dubs, and you see people in singles shooting that low too. So the big winner goes to Gavin and Anthony at 13 down, and we had a group at 12, a couple groups at 12, 11, and you can see the rest of our groups on there. So
yeah, great job to them. Thank you to my sponsor. Again, make sure to check them out on their website and the Facebook page.
yeah, come join us at leagues, guys. You can go to Discin's site. On there, they'll tell you the leagues, the tournaments that are going on in the local towns. Usually, stay out in about Franklin County, which is Washington and Union mostly. But yeah, thanks for having me, Carter.
Yep. Make sure to like and subscribe.